Hello, good morning friends. In this video, I am going to talk about test tools in continuation to research methods. The main aim of any education system is to see that child achieve expected standards. In this context, child's behavior, attitude, learning levels play significant role in teaching learning process. To study child's behavior, we should need data, information. So data is not readily available. It has to be collected through different means. And when we refer to different means, we should refer to tools. Then we can get scientific and applicable conclusions we can draw from such data or information. They can be experimented in any classroom situation. So now let's talk about some of the tools required to collect data to do research. What are those details? What are those tools? First of all, observation, interviews, anecdotal records, and reflective journals, narratives, and children's case study, experimental methods like action research. First, now let's come to observation. As all of us know, observation is an important tool. A teacher should be an observer and then absorber. Without observation, no question of absorbing. It was defined by Mr. Young in 1977. It is a systematic study of incidents at a time. He says observation is a systematic study of incidents at a certain time. Then Atkinson says observation is a purposeful study and purposeful study of facts. Along with Mr. Atkinson, Mr. Horsley defines observation, says that observation is a complex phenomena. Observer should use all his organs and also besides playing multiple roles to get correct data. Then what is to be done to make observation a fruitful and purposeful act? In observation, first of all, who is the observer and why he is observing? We know answers for these questions. Who is to observe? The teacher, the experimenter. And why he is to observe? To better his profession, to better his practice, and to make children get more benefits from the teacher. Then what is about observation? What is to be observed? You should have clarity about it, and besides clarity, the observer should be interested upon it. Then only we can get or collect or gather more and required information. Once everything is collected, what has to be done? We need to collect, we need to analyze collected information. Not only analysis means not only dividing the information into parts, but that has to be interpreted. When it is interpreted, we can draw conclusions from it. And this kind of observation is conducted in two types of conditions. The first one is done under natural conditions. Any observation that is done in natural conditions is called natural observation. In this process, the subject is unaware of being observed. Means, for example, a boy or girl is observed. That boy or girl doesn't know that he is being observed by somebody. We can take the example of a playground, and in the playground, how the child is playing, and while playing, what is his behavior, what is his attitude, and what kind of cooperation is extending and coordination, and how he is coordinating the things on the ground and off the ground, and leadership skills, adjustment skills, etc., and helping nature. In this context, we follow a doom called observation doom. This is constructed by Mr. Geisel. And in this doom, the observer is to observe children through see-through screens, and inside the observer is inside the doom. The insiders cannot see outsider, and outsider cannot see insider. For effective observation, what is to be observed, how is to be observed, who is to be observed. There must be clarity on these three aspects: what is to be observed, how is to be observed, and who is to be observed. Then natural observation can be successful. And what are to be used in this context? Tape recorders can be used, cameras can be used, video recorders can be used for proper observation. What is the use? This type of observation may influence child's behavior and limitations, since the observer is not trained how to observe it. So we may not get sufficient and complete data. Now coming to controlled observation. So observing in a situation to collect data by controlling natural behavior and natural conditions. So observation is done by controlling natural behavior and natural conditions is called controlled observation or artificial observation. How the subject is observed, how the child is observed, and in natural conditions or artificially created conditions or controlled conditions. That's very, very important for observation. So since all these experiments are conducted, this is also called experimental observation. Now coming to another tool called interview. Interview is an important tool, a face-to-face interaction, as all of us know, to collect in data for child's observation. What is meant by interview? There are, first of all, two types of people in interview. The first one is who conducts interview is called interviewer. Another person who is interviewed is called interviewee. And in this process, according to Mr. McCoby, 1954, defines interview is a face-to-face verbal interchange in which one person, the interviewer, attempts to elicit, means to get information as expression of opinion or beliefs from another person called interviewee. There are two types of interviews, students. The first one is a structured interview. The name itself suggests that the interviewer has a set of questions prepared in advance. And one more thing followed in it is with a preset of questions, questions have to be asked in order manner and systematically. Questions should be asked in an order and also systematically in an interactive manner, so that we can get data, and such data is collected and analyzed and draw conclusions. Coming to the second type of interview, as just we said, unstructured interview. The name itself suggests that interview is not structured, and in it no set of questions prepared. That title suggests no set of questions prepared in it, and interviewer has flexibility to ask questions, to pose questions. And as we said, no preset of question papers, means questions are not prepared in advance. Here questions are based on context. Questions are based on context, and with the skill of interviewer, one should have cordial interaction between the subject, means the student, and the interviewer, and the interviewer tries to create confidence in his subject about the interview, and so that he can get more and more data from him. Friendly environment is to be created to get required data. So these are the features of unstructured interview. And what are the uses advantages of this interview. Subject responds honestly, and in that way we can get data in a required manner, in a relevant manner. So this is why we can also make the interview to recollect past experiences and share with the interviewer, and sometimes it may reveal facts like internal behavior that cannot be observed. So advantages are there, and also disadvantages coming to limitations. What is here? Subjectivity is important, not objectivity. If interviewer fails to create a cordial and friendly environment while interview is on, the interviewer may not get relevant information, and the person we interview is not able to share, and he may not share freely and frankly. Then the purpose of interview is defeated.